Here we go again. I never can seem to leave a board alone. If I got a blank spot and I've got extra pins on the microcontroller, I want to bring them out and do something with them. So even though the board that we just completed is all ready to go order, I'm going to make a change to it. And, you know, that all happens all the time. So let's go back to schematic. Oh, well, let me point out something. There's not much here. There's nothing on the blue side, really. This ground trace is easy to move around. This one trace can move. So I've got this fairly large blank area here. And then to make it easy to look at, I've got blank pins here. You know, this trace that I put button 2 on, you know, that's a software thing with which button it comes in on. So if I slide that up, let's just slide it up 1 notch from pin 29 to pin 30. And that'll give me 3 buttons to work with, or 3 pins to work with. And I'll put a connector in with 5 pins and a power and a ground. So let me go back to the schematic. And we're just going to fix that. And here's that button. So I just want to slide it up from 29 to 30. So let me just go ahead and hit the escape key a couple times. Let's see if I can just move that out of there. Move that up. You know, I can move that trace up too. And, oh, I don't need that disconnect there. Let's just delete that off. Okay. And then I'm going to grab 3 I/O pins, and the other 2 that are right next to it are 27 and 28. So I'm going to take these 27, 28, and 29 and run them to a connector. So, so those disconnects go away. And I need a connector. So what I want is a generic connector. Connector generic. And it's going to have 5 pins. So I'll just put that, just put it right here. And I'm going to put +5 and ground on it. Or +3.3, I should say. Command D for duplicate. There's the power. Oops. There's the ground. And I can put traces on those. Let's go. Why is it not happy there? It doesn't like me for some reason. Let's try to go to that. It won't let me go to the edge. How come? Have I run into a bug in the code? Let me save it and close that. I'm going to save it and close it, and I'm going to reopen it. Okay, there we go. Okay, so I'll zoom in, trace. There's my 3.3 and my ground. This one just comes up here. And we're just going to make it nice and easy. That one. That one. Okay, so there's my connector. It's J question mark. We need to annotate it. So let me click the annotate button. Go for it. It is now J4. We need to select a component. I don't have a lot of room there, but I've got some really small connectors. So here's the list of things. And this is the one we just added. There's J4. And I want a connector pin header. I've got some 1.27 millimeter. That's a 0.05 inch. So we're going to do a 0.05. It's a 5-pin connector. There's the 105 vertical. I know the text is small on that for some of your screens. Say OK. So that should take care of that. So if we save this, go back to printed circuit board layout, and I want to update the board from the layout, update, and close. Here's my connector. Now I got to make a little bit of room for it, but not too bad. Let me get rid of this big 3.3 volt trace. And that's actually only for a button, so it really doesn't have any power to it. And I'm going to delete those traces too, because I'm going to move this resistor. And I'm going to move it up a little bit here. Okay. So now this guy, it can fit in here. And I just needed to basically just pick a point. I could see that the 3.3 volt line is going to be a little bit of a challenge, but no, not really. I think we can get everything to fit. Okay, so there's my new connector, and now I just got to patch everything in. Now this is a through-hole component, so it's actually got traces on both sides. So let me go in here and let me delete off that trace for the moment, because... And I'll just delete that one. This will be big. And I don't know, maybe not work. Let's see what it does. If it doesn't like something, it will certainly tell us. Okay, that fits just fine. So the 3.3 volt line, it's the same thing. It's just... and I can even keep that trace big and thick. Okay. So now I've got these three smaller traces that I just thought I'd put in. This trace is going to need to be pushed down a little bit because I need to get vias in here to convert me to the blue side, and I can come in on the bottom side for all three of these. So, and that's going to give me an error message on this. Let me fix this while I'm thinking about it. This R3 label, I'm going to move that down over here so it stays out of my way. So these will come in as comes off of here as red. I need to flip it to the blue side and it'll be fine. I want to get rid of this trace for the moment because I know I can give it a little bit more room. And I need to come in and, this is now incorrect, so let me delete some of those. Because this trace doesn't go there anymore, it goes to there. So that's because we changed it from one pin to the next. And that'll go right there. So now this trace, I have to change my diameter or width down to 6 mils. I want to come down here. I want to put a via in, and I want to keep it all the way over here just to keep it out of the way because I need 3 vias. As I said, it'll limit me. And then I'm going to zoom out and then zoom back in over here. And I do want to keep it kind of out of the way, so we'll just keep it up. Okay, there's one. Again. Via. Just let it, as I try to put it up, it actually tells me how far it can go. There's 2. Okay. And I want, this one also has to be pretty close in because I've still got this other trace I need to get out of here. So this is number 3. And then zoom out, zoom back in. Oh, come on now. Okay. Now I've got this trace has to come back through. And it's not too bad. I think it'll probably just fit. So let me just zoom that in a little better. Okay. It says 1 unrouted. What did I miss? Okay. Oh, back here. That button trace. Okay, because I moved the other one. 0 unrouted. Let's run that design rule check again. We should have a few minor things. Courtyard overlap. Oh, yeah, the resistor and that connector overlap a little bit. You know, I can make a decision and say, that's fine. It's not going to cause me any grief at all. Or I can rotate that resistor. Oh, let me go fix it. It's probably best I do. Let me delete those traces off for the moment. Delete. Let me move this guy. Let's rotate so the courtyards don't overlap anymore. And let's get rid of this piece of trace. And then I can add traces back in. And again, this is just a button signal, so it doesn't really have any current. So I can actually do it with just a thin trace. Okay. 0 unrouted. Okay, run DRC. Silkscreen clipped by solder mask. Those were the... Oh, my label. Let's move that. Close. I got that piece in there. Move. Okay. Rotate, and I can sneak that in. That's a silk screen there. It's going to get pissy with me on that. Let me put it up here. Let me rerun that design rule check one more time. Oh, I do have a trace to put back in. Silk screen clipped, overlap, U1, that's fine. We're going to do that. Delete the markers, close. And I just have to put this one trace in. Oh, I want it to be 0.06. So I don't want the auto to do it. Okay. Okay, so I've added my 5-pin connector. And I better stop futzing around with this thing. And let's see if we can get it ordered. Okay.